Hey, free-to-play gang. Okay, so I think I've discovered a tactic. Actually, this is kind of like, I don't think a lot of you guys actually might have thought about this, but I've discovered a way to gather a lot of points, and in order for you to gather a lot of points, you need to understand how the mechanics of the boss work. So we're going to take a look at the boss just a little bit, but I'm going to explain how I discover a team that functions really well. And this is actually a cheat code over here, and the expert that you're looking at is going to be Hall. Wow, who would have imagined that he's going to be OP, and I think he deserves like top tier ranking in this particular fight, because take a look at Mistletoe Hunter, right? Whenever an ally attacks a target, a single target damage, Hall attacks them too and deals damage, blah blah blah, poisons them for 1 turn, and honestly I think I need a little bit more accuracy. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have a little bit more accuracy, and on top of that I also gave him another 6% accuracy because of the resonance talent tree. So this is gonna work, so he's probably gonna land a lot of poisons, and the reason why this is so important, we will see in just a bit. Okay, but I must admit that Abigail is going to be excellent over here in this fight, but I'm not gonna go too much into detail about the many tiny little things to note about this fight, right? But I'm going to talk about the main thing, and the main thing, take a look at Shadow Shape here, okay? So the thing is, whenever he takes a turn, he is going to gain Shadow Embrace stacks, and what Shadow Embrace stacks do is each stack increases AP after taking his action, and reduces damage taken as well up to 70 stacks. And I believe this translates into 70% damage reduction, and he also gains 70% AP whenever he takes a turn. So this is very dangerous, and it's something that you need to get rid of ASAP. Or rather, you can't really get rid of it, but you can prevent it. And the way that you can prevent it is by landing debuffs on the boss. So the thing is, if you can land 10 debuffs on the boss, he's not going to gain a single stack of it when his turn comes around. So this 7 turns over here, or rather in total 8 turns of the boss taking turns, this is kind of like a ticking time bomb. So the thing is, you want to drop a lot of debuffs onto the boss to prevent him from getting the Shadow Embrace. So let's just take a look at how this team works. So what we're going to do is we're going to land some slows, or hopefully we land a slow on the boss. If not, that's going to suck. So that's where Dahlia comes in. Okay, great slow. Poison stacks over there. So let's see how many poison stacks we can apply before the boss takes his turn. Right? Can we get another one? We got 6. Okay, so because we landed 6 debuffs in total, right? Poisons included. What you notice is that now the boss has 4 stacks of Shadow Embrace. And the thing is, there are many times that I was actually able to stack up to 10 debuffs all at once because of Hall. So Hall is like the ultimate powerhouse over here. So what you're seeing is he's just landing so many debuffs for us. He's like the MVP. He's truly the MVP for us. And obviously, apart from Hall, there are other options. So I think Kara might be decent. I'm not actually very sure about that. I haven't tested Kara out, but she does land a lot of poison stacks whenever she takes a turn, but it's not as much as what Hall can do, because Hall just lands stacks whenever any of your allies take a turn and lands a single target attack, right? And it even counts in Avatara procs as well. So if you're running Avatara on, like, let's say your Lin Xiao or any of your single target damage dealers, like let's say your Hengre as well, right? That's going to help a lot. That's going to land a lot of extra debuffs. So that is one way that we're not really cheesing this. I think this is just the mechanic of the boss. So yeah, so more stacks and more stacks and more stacks. And hopefully, well, just hopefully we can survive through all 7 of his turns, so that when we use our second team and our third team, we can just go YOLO. And I think that's just basically the goal. Okay, so here kind of sucked. But we do have 15 stacks, and it's going to amount to another 40 stacks. So we kind of like screwed up a little bit here. But I think that's not going to be too much of a problem for us. So now he has 35 stacks. Yeah, so ideally you need to have some good sustain as well, which is something that we do not have. So I definitely need to take a look at that again. But ideally the goal is to just do a lot of debuffs on the boss, and then on your second and your third teams, that's when I think you can go a little bit more YOLO. Just deal as much damage as you can. Because the thing is, once his turn comes around, once he's done adding all the stacks onto his kit, onto himself rather, then he will never gain more stacks. So ideally, what you want is to push the stacks down to as little as possible. So ideally, right, just, you know, below 40 stacks, I think that's a good place to stop. Or rather, that's like a good goal to have. But the thing is, when he takes another turn, he's going to get 52 stacks, which is unfortunate. So the thing is, the lower stacks that he has, the more damage you can deal to the boss, right? So let me just show you again one more time. Oh no, we're going to lose all our espers here. But that's fine, that's fine. We are supposed to YOLO over here. That's the whole reason for this team. So let's take a look at the boss buff over here, Shadow Embrace. Each stack increases AP after taking an action and reduces damage taken, max 70 stacks. So we kind of screwed up with the 52 stacks here, but we were actually going really strong. It's just that our sustain needed a little bit more work. So I got to figure out how we can manage it, man. It's quite difficult. This boss fight is very difficult. Very endgame content. Extremely endgame content. So we're not going to get 2.9 million obviously because we screwed out on our first team. But I think maybe I had a little bit of good RNG in a previous team that allowed me to survive a little bit longer. I wasn't able to survive all the way till what, he was down to like 2 turns or something like that. I think I survived till about left, like when he had like 3 more cooldowns left, I think. And oh yeah, another thing is that Catherine is super OP in this fight because of her standoff buff. So many a time I realized that her standoff buff actually protected my team from the wipe, from this Stellar Smash wipe over here. And that's pretty awesome. And I think another way that you can cap him out a little bit, like just to prevent the boss from wiping our team, is to just drop a lot of buff blockers. Because he's not going to be able to gain the attack buff whenever he's trying to throw that Stellar Smash skill which grants him an attack buff. So having buff blockers, sorry, I think did I say attack blockers, whatever. Having buff blockers is super crucial. So what I notice here is that my, well, now she's dead because Sentinel is gone. But you see, she survived, or rather the Esper behind, Black Twin. He survived because he had a standoff buff. But now he dies. Yep. And we did okay, 2.4, almost 2.5 million. We did okay for the fact that we kind of screwed up on our first run as well. But this is just the trick. Okay, so some of you guys asked me for like, how do you beat this boss and all that. How do I know? I mean, everyone is new to this content. But yeah, so hopefully this information serves you pretty well, right? So take a look at my haul again. These are his stats. Obviously, he can do with a lot more tankiness because I felt like he died a little bit too quickly, didn't he? So honestly, I don't think you need him to have an attack kit at all. Maybe just throw like full defense on him and I think that will work, and probably give him Astral Witchcraft. So just give him a lot of tankiness and Astral Witchcraft so that he can take multiple turns just to throw a little bit more like attack down debuffs, and maybe if he uses his Silent Knight, he can learn defense break and poison as well. So that's pretty good. So I think Astral Witchcraft on him is probably the way to go and just super freaking tanky. And you should be doing okay. So for me, I'm currently ranked 3rd on the leaderboard. And wow, this is a super powerhouse dude, the 2 guys up here. 10 million and 8 million. But anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you guys learned a thing or two. I'm quite surprised I actually discovered this, but I won't be surprised if some of you guys have already figured it out on your own. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Dairy Free to Play. And as always, I will see you in the next video.